So, Charlie, have you seen Nope?
Yep. Um, what's your thoughts on the movie, man?
Um, Genuinely, there were some good parts that were actually thrilling that I did. I did enjoy the movie. There was a lot of, I don't know. Dude, my thoughts. All right, dude. Let me keep it simple to start. It was alright.
I think it was okay. Um, a little disappointed, but it was all right. I mean, it was Jordan Peele's third film. His
Which
first film was Get Out. Second film was Us, and now Nope.
and now Nope. I mean, they can't
Um,
all be bangers.
no, no.
But dude,
But
look,
let's
dude,
first off, dude. I thought this was gonna be an alien movie, not a
totally.
monster movie. Um, they
Yeah, huge
class,
spoiler. It's a
yeah.
monster. Uh,
It's a monster movie. I was like, what?
Uh, and I'm not gonna lie, dude, I had like heavy Skinwalker Ranch vibes in the beginning, and
Me too.
and I loved it. I was like genuinely like, dude, aliens creep me out. Like the Fourth Kind is like one of those movies that like sticks with me psychologically. Like, god damn it, they all saw owls. It's fucking terrifying. But nope, it
Dude,
had the beginning of that where I was like, oh no, fuck, dude, aliens. But then it got really weird, really fast, really quick.
yeah. First off, I like the way Jordan Peele does his films and acts,
First
right?
off, yeah, Jordan Peele's absolutely amazing, and I still like
Yeah.
this movie. I would probably see it again, but yeah, I just
I just, all right. So my opinion, all right, on the movie is I like the way it started off. I thought it moved a little bit slow. Um, what really caught my attention in the film was, um, first off, when you see the monster slash spaceship at the beginning. So I was like, fuck yeah. And then the barn scene, bro, where he goes in and he shuts off the lights,
mm-hmm.
and then the lights come back on,
Dude,
and then
loved it.
and you see the kids,
Yeah,
but they're
which
dressed
he
in
doesn't
alien
know. Yeah,
costumes.
so the
Yeah,
yeah,
we don't know this at all,
it's probably the most terrifying part of the movie.
dude. It was so good. I
No,
was like, bro, this is what I was expecting, and
yeah,
then it took a complete fucking turn. I was like, wait,
yeah.
what?
It's like, dude,
So
the scariest part of the movie Signs was the birthday party scene when the alien finally just walks by. He does like the Bigfoot motion and just walks
yeah, yeah.
across, and the kids freak out. And when I saw that when I was younger, it terrified me. And I had that same feeling when they were in that barn, and like the dude, he like stood up out of the shadow, and I was like it was that, oh no, no way, we're seeing them this soon. This is crazy.
I was
Like
super excited. I
I was
thought,
scared. I was like, "Oh my god!" And he did the
dude,
thing.
I
He was
was
like, "Nope."
nope. Yeah, he was like,
Which
nope.
there's a lot of nope moments.
Yes, there is. I just that part of the film really caught my attention. I was like, fuck yeah. So there's got to be a scene where they might be entering this spaceship, you know? I did like the diversity in cast. I did like, I think Daniel Kaluuya did a great job in the lead. Was a little pissed at the sister, bro. I don't really.
I
I
liked
wasn't a
her.
big fan. I wasn't a big fan of her character. First off, it was like, okay, so your dad gets hit with a fucking nickel in his eye and dies, and then you just come by and it's like you don't give a fuck. Your brother's like mourning his dad just passed away. Now he's got to run the business, and you come here to promote yourself, and then you need a place to stay. It's like, and
Nah,
then
I
at the
totally
same
see that. However,
and
it
then
felt like
in
a
the
very relatable sister for me.
but I hear you. But in the whole film, bro, Daniel Kaluuya is trying to stay on the farm and solve this shit, and she's like, "We got to get the fuck out of here." The whole time she wants to run, and what I really felt like, man, he deserved to take out that alien at the end of the movie. He solved it all, bro. He knew it was a monster. He knew it was territorial. He knew it was trying to eat them. And then for the one individual that's like, no, we got to leave, scared shitless the whole time, is the one that kills it. I'm like, I was just like, no, that was a big turnoff for me.
Okay, well, I'm gonna be clear. If we're gonna jump straight to the ending, I did not like the ending. I did not like the
No,
ending at all,
no,
and that was
no.
my biggest turnoff as well. It was just kind of, I don't know if that
It,
was like Comedy Central seeping through. It was just goofy. It was so goofy, and I just wasn't. I wasn't about it. However, the reason I did like her character is because it totally reminded me of a real family member. Like, there's always that one family member where you're just like, "What are you doing?"
yeah,
Okay,
that's true. Yeah,
and you still take them in because they're your family,
that's
and
true.
that was the thing is like, she was saying she didn't really feel the connection she did with her dad because the horse she was supposed to train with dad, he trained with dad, and they went to go do the Scorpion King movie, and she kind of just got left out of it. So it explains why she didn't really care about dad. It's because she kind of got pushed out of the family business, so she felt like she had to go do her own thing. So you get a little bit of her own side, and I kind of liked her. She was a little snappy. I feel like you kind of needed her character, but yeah, especially like, yeah, she was the one who took down the UFO, or UAP, and
UFO UAP weather balloon. Mm-hmm.
right, with we yeah,
Sorry,
I don't know if we can classify it as a weather balloon.
dude. At the end of that fucking movie, it looked like a weather balloon. I was like, wait. So you're telling me you went from being a giant UFO to a fucking weather balloon,
Dude, I got
and the
more
little
jellyfish vibes. I got very jellyfish vibes.
and dude, the little green box. I'm guessing that was the eye. Um,
Or inside of that was the I didn't.
I,
Whatever.
so some things, bro, I didn't understand. What I
Why
did
would it?
figure out though, what I did figure out later on in the film, towards the end, was that Steven Yeun's character knew about it before
Before, yeah,
The Daniel Kaluuya's character, and he was feeding it the whole time. He was feeding
yeah,
it Daniel
yeah.
Kaluuya's horses. So it's like
Apparently, yeah. Apparently, which I would
he's
love to.
coming back, and he's like, "I want to buy my horses back." And Daniel and Steven Yeun's like, "Yeah, sure. Uh, after after you sell Lucky, you know." and
Yeah, yeah.
it's like the whole time you find out that it's been feeding this thing.
He's been feeding the horses to
Yeah,
these.
and to relate to that, I think that it was because of his childhood memory with Gordy, because he had this monkey, this chimpanzee.
It was an actor monkey. It was one of those like a chimp you would bring on set, and like a trained chimp for a TV show.
Right, right.
Gordy. And the whole name of the show was Gordy, and that's what he was like kind of famous for.
Yeah, the show lasted 2 years, but I think it was in the second year when Gordy fucking lost his shit and
Chimp,
killed the entire.
which is a great movie to see in its own. It's
Yeah,
Gordy.
that really would be an interesting film just to see in its own. Um, I was waiting for them to. I didn't understand that at the beginning because they kind of opened the film with Gordy, and I was like, where is this leading to? Because the film is about some sort of alien or monster or whatnot, but it's like,
which I'm gonna have to dive into because there's some things this creature did that are so weird that it just doesn't make sense to me. Like example, so you find out Steven Yeun's feeding this monster his horses, right? And he's gonna go pick up his horse to save it from being eaten. He doesn't know it's about to be being eaten, but he shows up, and it turns out Steven Yeun's character is like hosting like a get together for everyone to see this monster slash UFO slash weather balloon eat this horse, but it ends up eating the entire crowd.
except for the horse.
Except for the horse. Everything but the horse. Now, this is the part that really gets me wild. So, one of the main characters gets there, they get the horse, and he drives back home. And then the weather balloon slash monster slash UFO goes to his house and then just throws up all over his house. What
Literally
the
blood. Just throws up all the people's blood all over the house.
what was that? Is that like a taunt? Like is
I,
what?
I
Is
don't
that
know. I
something
think it was
animals
trying.
do? Is this going to be one of those things that get released in an article where it's like, oh, dude, animals do this as an intimidation tactic. Jordan Peele's a fucking genius.
I think I want to say that it was trying to get them to leave the house because you noticed how it wouldn't take anybody unless they were looking up. You know what I mean? Unless they looked at it.
Right.
So it didn't attack just anything. You had to be looking at it for it to want to take you. That and I
Which
think
is a
that
really cool idea for for seeing a UFO. It's like, oh, the reason there's not many people coming forward with UFOs because they're actually monsters.
right,
They
yeah,
eat
and
you. So
what their whole take on it was that there's UFOs and then there's kind of like these UFO animals. You know what I'm saying? Like,
entities, UFO entities. Yeah.
yeah, and I was like, it's. I mean, I thought the movie started off really well. I thought overall, man, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Um, but
That's
I was
actually
kind
really fair because the
yeah,
ending was so drastically it just felt wrong.
I just feel
Um
like, dude, they found out the weakness. Okay, they knew it
First
was
off,
they knew it was sucking up horses. They set out a fucking a fake horse
a
with
decoy horse.
a decoy horse, and they watched it take it. My thing is if you knew it was just gonna take a horse, why wouldn't you put something on that horse to kill it? Let it take one of your
Well,
horses.
they didn't know it was a living creature yet. So like that's the idea. Like he kind of came to later, he had like a memory of his dad and his dad was like, look, a ghost out there acting all territorial. Some horses just can't be tamed. And then he has like the revelation where he's like,
Well, that's
"Oh,
right.
this thing's
That's
aggressive. This
actually
thing's territorial."
that's when it came and sucked up all the people, man. Because when
Yeah.
he came, it literally bypassed the horse and tried to suck him up, but he hit the top of that barn shed and knocked himself out. So he, I got to give it to the character Daniel though. The Daniel Kaluuya's character,
Yeah, Daniel Clue. I got to remember his name. He's amazing.
he did not show like any fear towards, like, you could tell like
Dude,
he
he's
knew.
the dude you wanted to be riding a battle with 100%.
Definitely, dude. You could tell he knew once he figured it out, you could tell, all right, he was a little scared. Like especially the scene where he drives up to the driveway and the car shuts off
Nope.
and the
Yeah.
horse just falls right there and he just locks the door.
Which is a wonderful comedic moment, dude. Like
Yeah,
a horse just falls through his cab, barely missing him and killing him, and he just locks the door.
he just locks the door and he's like, "Nope, I'm not going out there."
Not getting out. Still not getting
You know,
out.
I mean, I think his character was great. I think he did a great job, man. I mean, there was so much involved with the movie too. I mean, when you think about it, you're looking at an alien aspect of it. You're looking at
Which I that was my favorite aspect. As soon as I learned that it was a living creature, I was like, okay, we'll see how this goes. But every point from that point on got just goofy for me.
yeah,
All he had to do was put barbed wire on a jacket. You
yeah,
know? Like yeah, they don't like that. They spit you right back out.
yeah. But another thing I didn't get, man, was why would the filmmaker, knowing what he's filming and literally watching it, trying to kill the guy on the motorcycle, why would you try to just run up the hill and film it?
Yeah, and what are you planning to do?
It,
I thought he was gonna like drop the camera.
it,
Oh, I'll record it and then toss the camera. No,
right.
he kept the camera. Like, it's
Dude,
the tornado.
the thing came down and destroyed the entire tent with all the
Yeah.
equipment. It's like it knew, but
Well, they looked at it.
yeah, but the thing is like the guy knew that the filmmaker knew that the monster was it would take you if you looked at. He knew that because they went to the car dealership dude, and grabbed all of those little floaty guys with all the big eyes on them. And every time one would lay flat with the eyes facing up towards the sky, bro, it would come right
Well,
over.
I think that's
You know?
Kaluuya's character was he's like the only one who really got that. You know, he was the only one who was really fully on the like his senses were just like I said, he's the dude you want to go into battle with. He seemed like the only dude who knew what to do at every moment. And
Dude,
he was really quiet too. He was like a quiet character, man of few words.
he held his composure, man. He
Yeah.
was very composed throughout the entire film. He
And the sister, like you were saying, is the chick who wanted to run away, wanted to get out of it.
Yeah, she was the
Completely
completely opposite character. I mean, she wasn't like a bad character. I just felt like, in my opinion, excuse me,
Yeah.
I felt like Daniel Kaluuya's character should have been the one who took it out. Man, he was the one who was composed and kind of figured it out throughout the entire film, and was the ballsy one, bro. He was the one that was like,
let's talk about it. So she takes it out, and this is my least favorite part of the movie is the ending. So she runs to this the little place where the UFO
character, yeah,
the UFO alien weather balloon sucked up all the people. He has his own little like amusement park, and at this amusement park, it's like an old town western style. And
it's called Juniper's
Claim.
something. Yeah.
Juniper's Claim.
Yeah,
Yeah. So when he goes, she gets an electric motorcycle and apparently shoots it across the desert, not in a road, which is terribly dangerous, and gets all the way to Juniper's Claim, to which she unhooks a giant inflated cowboy and just kind of lets it float up. And the giant alien weather balloon UFO decides to, like, I don't know, eat it.
And
it
my thing is,
and it kills it.
Right.
And she manages to get a picture of it with the well, because I don't even know what the point of getting the goddamn picture for.
No, dude, this is the thing that's confusing about that scene. This is why the ending to me wasn't. I didn't understand it, because first off, man, in the beginning of the film, they put the decoy horse out, strapped up in the plastic.
Yes,
flag.
I know where you're going with
all right,
this. Yeah.
and they knew that the alien thing didn't like the plastic flags,
and it didn't attack him.
And it didn't attack him because when Daniel Kaluuya's character is riding on the horse away from it, dude, he pops the flag parachute. It
like
goes the opposite way.
And
it goes the opposite way. So tell me, how the fuck did it not know that was plastic material? If it could tell the difference between the flags, right. You know, like, oh, I don't want to eat this. It's going to hurt me. It's obviously
a very intelligent creature. I mean, it's
right.
Taunting and vomiting on the nearest house that lives by it, you know?
Yeah, it's like...
It hides in a cloud, god damn it.
A cloud that don't move, by the way.
Which is enough evidence alone. Like, you could turn the world on its head. If you go to one meteorologist and you're like, can you explain this shit? Okay, we'll come out to my fucking yard and look at the goddamn cloud.
Right.
It's not moving.
And the funny thing is that they tried to get people to come out and look, especially this filmmaker that we were previously talking about. They tried to get him to come out before, but you know what? He thought they were bullshitting. So until their next door neighbor, Juniper's
claim.
Yeah. When all the people get sucked up there and it makes the news and in the headlines, then all of a sudden this guy wants to come out and help. But still, I don't understand how the intelligent extraterrestrial creature eats a juniper balloon and dies, knowing that if it could tell the difference between the plastic flags. I don't understand that. How is that the key to killing it?
It's so foreign and weird of an idea, and I even don't like it. Like, the popping of that balloon was, and well, to be fair, we don't really know. We just saw it kind of like wither off like a weather balloon. Like, like this balloon pops while it's eating it. You see like a bunch of white dust, and then it just kind of like, into the wind. Now it's very large, but we don't really get a confirmation of whether it's dead or not.
No, you don't. And you do see it before it eats the the squid weather balloon type thing and transform back into a spaceship to eat it. So, from my understanding, I don't think it can eat anything in
While
its
it's big.
form,
Right,
yeah,
right.
in like its true form.
Because that didn't
I
make
think,
sense to me either. Because like it would turn into its big form, and it had to munch in its UFO form.
yeah, and it's like I still don't understand the green box. I'm assuming that was an eye. That's
Yeah,
how it looked because every time there was
like it
like
would do
over
like
here,
a
over here, yeah.
but
But
it
every
had like a
time,
in the middle. It almost looked like it had an eye of some sort.
right. Well, the reason why I assumed it was an eye, and only reason I assumed it was an eye, was because at the point where they were trying to call it, Daniel Kaluuya's character was trying to call it further to him so that she can regain power to the motorcycle so she can go.
And it was like coming through each side. Whatever side
Yeah,
was being loudest, it would send the green box through.
yeah. So I'm assuming it was
By
an
the way,
eye.
the green box we're talking about is attached to the alien. It's a physical
And
part of
it's
the alien when it comes out of its form.
yeah. I say it's its final form, like its true form,
Yeah,
like
it's
it's
Golden Frieza. It's
yeah. Because the whole film you see it in a spaceship form, and you're assuming it's a spaceship, it's a UFO, and then you see it in its true form after the fact, and it's like, okay, so when it transforms back into the UFO, that's the only time it can munch on something, and I just I just feel like, man, they had a few opportunities. Daniel Kaluuya's character kind of peeped in advance. Even Angel, the Spanish kid, he even knew from jump, man. You got an alien on your ranch,
well,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah. It's because they were acting so sketchy and weird.
Yeah,
You could tell he was just kind of thrown in for the plot, and I kind of liked his
yeah.
character.
I did. I
Um,
liked the character too.
I enjoyed Angel. I kind of liked everybody. I hate to be that dude who's like, everybody was all right. There was nobody that really griped me. As far as cast, the
I
ending,
do find Stephen Yin's character a little strange because
yeah,
he's the one who went through the whole childhood trauma
they
with Gordy, and which
felt kind of
I believe
pointless.
is why it did at the beginning, and then when I analyzed it a little bit, I felt like, okay, so he had this relationship with Gordy the chimpanzee, and when you're watching the film, towards the third act, you see um, Gordy on the Gordy show, and the chimpanzees like murdering the fucking cast members,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. They
And
eventually show Gordy snapping, which is a
yeah,
really tense, awesome scene.
yeah,
Um, it's
one
kind
of
of
the better
goofy.
scenes in the film.
Yeah, it's kind of goofy. It's super tense. I'm saying goofy as in like a the way the chimp kills him is it's not very. I don't want to say it's not graphic because it's slightly graphic, but it just seems weird. I feel like they could have done the actual chimp attack better, but the suspense of that chimp walking around all bloodied up and a little boy hiding under a table that was crazy. And then you know,
Yeah, so the fist bump, that's what I'm talking about. So as a whole, man, let's stick to the Gordy thing for a second because I got some questions about that. So first off, I believe Stephen Yin's character was obsessed with he knew the alien was primal, and was trying to feed it because he had this a strange history with Gordy, and then he watched Gordy kill the entire cast member
yeah.
except for one person,
Oh,
and then no, two people. He
oh,
survived one other person.
oh yeah,
So,
yeah.
um, which, by the way, in the scene where Gordy is actually killing the mother, you see him beating the mother,
Yeah,
and then you see the dad running down the stairs, and he's like, "Gordy, no, stop! What are you doing?"
yeah.
And then he runs to another room, and then you see him get mauled by Gordy,
And that's my
but you
problem
don't
because
see.
it's literally just this.
Yeah,
Uh,
but you don't see the girl. So in the television show Gordy, when they did the take, when they were opening the presents,
yep.
right? You see that Gordy you see that Stephen Yin's character as a little boy had a sister in the show, and a mom and dad. And when Gordy's feeding the horse, trying to introduce the audience to the creature, the alien, he has previous cast member there, and she has no lips. It looks like the chimpanzee must have ripped her lips off at one point. She was disabled, disfigured. But in the Gordy scene, I still think that Steven Yeun has some sort of Steven Yeun's character, sorry, had some sort of
Bond.
obsession with trying to
Tame this
tame
yeah.
tame these untamable creatures. You know what I mean?
So yeah,
Because
after Gordy completely beat and devoured majority of the cast, the only person Gordy didn't aggro on attack was Steven Yeun's character. He was hiding and he was terrified on his table, and when Gordy finally noticed him, instead of going to attack him, it's almost like Gordy knew he was scared. And it's like Steven Yeun's character also felt that Gordy knew he was scared. And instead of Gordy coming and attacking him, he reached through and did like a little chimp fist bump.
like he was trying to fist bump him, yeah.
And as soon as he was going to fist bump him, someone shot Gordy. And Gordy died right in front of Steven Yeun. So there's almost like a
I'm not going to lie, dude. I jumped on that scene,
yeah.
bro. I wasn't expecting that shot. I was like, wait, what?
Careful when you see him hiding under a table, you're about to poop.
Yeah. I was expecting the fist bump to happen. I wasn't expecting
like a bloody
that.
fist
You know
bump.
what I mean?
Yeah. And then, he gets like zombie headshot.
Yeah.
Umbrella security comes in and takes out Gordy. The Tijuana incident. Gordy's the Tijuana incident.
Was not expecting that.
No, dude. That was a really good scene. Which I really would have watched a movie called Gordy where like Steven Yeun's character and this chimp bond.
It would be interesting to see a film like that, right? Like, so say Jordan Peele decided to do a movie on Gordy, right? Because think about it, dude. The whole movie is about these cast members, who are working with the chimpanzee, and then at the end of the film, he catches a fucking crazy and kills everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, except one person, the one kid who was nice. Like,
and then it disfigures another, know, and it's like,
yeah. Dude,
he even states that he had a crush on that girl.
Yeah, used to. He was like my first Hollywood crush. Definitely not anymore.
No,
definitely not anymore. But yeah, that was kind of crazy too. Like how that is a weird incident in itself, where it just kind of went and ate like upwards of like 50 people at once.
Yeah, because it was taking a horse at a
time, and now it just decides, I'm just gonna go with the whole crowd. It was just kind of weird.
Which was a big uptake in the film because you haven't seen that happen before, so you knew then that it was more capable of taking more than just a horse.
It could take a tiny town, because that's pretty much what it did. It took all of the people of Juniper's Claim, which was like a little,
practically. By the way, Juniper Claim is an actual town. At the end of the film, they advertise that as an actual place you can go and visit. I don't know if you caught that. Nope. Yeah, me neither. But I'm just saying, they do advertise it as a place you can actually go visit.
I'd be down.
Bring your kids or whatever. But it's.
I'd be down for.
I feel like Steven Yeun's character was probably the strangest, though. Just because he, first off, he had this.
With us saying that his whole story could be a side story in itself, or a main story in itself.
Definitely.
It just felt also very out of place for me. Because he was kind of like a main part of the movie, at the beginning, but he was like, I don't know, man. He felt like he got a lot of story with a little bit of showtime kind of thing. Like he just it felt a little out of place. If I'm being fully real with it, it's like the story didn't mesh with Nope, the movie Nope.
I agree, and that's why I tried to analyze it, and that's why I'm saying I think
it's like its own little horror flick mixed in.
Yeah, it's and all I can think is that Steven Yeun's character had the childhood trauma, and then he had his
But why go through all of that to just get him eaten?
Animals. I don't know, and see, they don't really explain I believe that was the first time he actually got an audience together to try to watch.
Yeah, they don't go into that at all. But no, they do. He comes in with the green paper. Remember, that's why he goes to get Lucky, because he found the green paper in a pile of shit. So when they stole the decoy, by the way, they stole the decoy from Steven Yeun's character, which is really funny as well. Because he shows up while they're setting up the decoy, and he's like, "Oh, you know, I have some of those, right?" But he's actually asking them to come to that event. So I think that is the first event that he threw.
Yeah.
Had to be.
Because I think, and what I find weird is that how Steven Yeun knew about it prior to Daniel Kaluuya's character. Steven Yeun's character knew, but at the same time, never told Daniel Kaluuya. But watched him go through the craziness, like,
dude. If you look at it, it kills you. So he had to seen it. You know, I mean,
right.
he knew what he was advertising. He had a UFO on his fucking jacket.
That's true.
He's had to seen it.
I really wish that
there's a lot of parts of that like that kind of just don't make sense. That's what I'm saying.
No,
it's supposed to be a primal animal, but it goes and throws up all of Juniper's claim onto their house for no reason.
I just feel like there are some holes in the film. You know what I mean?
There's
like,
plenty of. I can't wait for that one person to come out and they're like, "No, you guys just missed all these parts."
Right.
I need that guy now, because by the end of the movie, I was like, I don't know exactly how we got here, and I'm not quite happy with how it ended.
No,
but honestly, I was fully invested in the beginning of the movie, and even the whole Gordy thing, I was cool with it. Dude, I still liked it, even though I felt like it didn't fit the movie.
I was fully invested in the film, and in the barn scene film, bro. When you actually see, Steven Yeun's kids is dressed up like aliens, I was like, hell yeah,
dude.
And
make
then
that movie, Jordan. Make that movie, because that part made me shit myself.
Yeah, that part was like, all right, this is what I want to see, and then it took a whole different turn, man. And like I said, I give it a 7.
By the way, Daniel Kaluuya definitely punched a child in this movie.
Totally
decked a child.
Kid. It didn't even, no remorse.
No, and just I want you to imagine the size of that man with his adrenaline pumping, decking it like a teen boy. Like
it was my man.
You fucking
dude, bro. But can you think, like, dude, that was a coordinated fucking scare, bro. That was a coordinated attack, dude. They had 3 kids. One pops out, turns the lights on. One pops his head out of one end.
And one comes from the fucking ceiling downwards. And then Daniel Kaluuya just decks them. And you find out later that that's just some kids. But he totally socked the shit out of one of them, bro. Like,
why? But why were they there? Why were they there?
Because they stole. They get into that a little later. Because they stole their horse. They stole the decoy. So when Steven Yeun's character mentioned, when he comes back and sees the decoy, like that day, and he's like, "Oh, I have plenty of those." The point is she went and stole it from him. So that night, he came back home. I guess Steven Yeun was like, "Hey, they stole our horse." So the kids went over there to give him a scare, which is wild in itself. The fact that you would just let your 3 kids run to some man's ranch to scare him,
right? But it's. I really feel like they should have gone more into it.
Yeah, like
I know they should have gone more into it.
Key to the movie, the Gordy story feels like it doesn't really. Okay, so you just want to show that he has a primal connection with a primate at some point, and that's why he's trying to do this UFO thing. No, it's just like everybody else, man. He's doing a big spectacle. He wants to be rich and famous too.
Right. I mean, you got all that because he's a child star, right? This is the next big break. But exactly. But at the same time, he's also got this odd obsession with trying to tame these untamable creatures, and that's when Daniel Kaluuya's character realized it was an actual creature. It wasn't a UFO. It was a monster in itself. It's definitely unlike your original monster movies. It's definitely its own monster movie for sure.
It's also the only monster movie that was not advertised as a monster movie.
No, it was not.
So you do have to give, I guess, Jordan Peele credit for that.
Well, he kept it under wraps for sure.
Did I like that it was a giant jellyfish that floated in the air? No. But was it a twist? Yeah, I wasn't ready for it. I didn't see it coming.
De- no,
Um,
definitely. I think they could have
I
made it.
definitely couldn't have started this movie and been like, I know how it's ending. I definitely couldn't do that. So it does get points for me on the sheer surprise.
I think that they could have gone into a little bit more, or at least
Definitely.
made the monster more like in its truest form. I felt like, damn, really, you transfer from a fucking UFO that eats people to something that can only look at you? You would think in its truer form it would
Yeah,
be
it's
more
true.
dangerous, right?
You'd think, well, it just blinks its giant green fucking eye at you. We don't know what it does. That's
We
the
don't know
thing is like
nothing. Yeah.
all we see it do is like I guess bite a balloon with its green eye.
No, because remember, when it sees, it looks dead at the balloon with the green eye, and then it just transforms back into a spaceship, and then it sucks the balloon up. Remember,
Okay,
and then
yeah,
the
and then it
balloon
pops,
pops,
and then it
and
turns
and
into
then
a big pop weather balloon and floats
and
by.
then it turns into a big pop weather balloon. So it went from transforming into the spaceship to kind of transforming back into what it just was. I don't know, man.
Yeah, but
I, I feel like that if throughout the whole movie, man, I was really excited because first off, the way they introduce it is just this standstill cloud, but at the same time, it can leave the cloud and go other places.
by the way, they totally leave that in the dust too. I guess it just kind of like hops through clouds. They don't really get into that. That's just a mystery for you to try and think of. That it just has a cloud home.
Yeah,
It just has a random cloud home that it likes to go chill in. Just
and does
ignore
it
that.
and and I wonder if it makes its own mist, bro, fog, whatever. Like if it made the cloud itself, because remember when it drops all the items and the blood and everything over the house the next
It
day
turns into
when
like a stormy, like you can't see
yeah,
shit.
it's like in the very next morning, bro, it's just a bunch of mist. Like you just got stuck in a giant cloud.
Which, by the way, it never really leaves them either. Like it just kind of it stalks them in a way, which I
Yeah,
also doesn't make sense. You know they're there. You're stalking them. You're an intelligent being. You know he's there. He really has to look at you first. You know,
right.
it's there's a lot of little holes and weird parts that just don't really check out. But
No,
it did
and
scare me. It did give me a thrill. So as far as a horror movie, I don't feel like I was cheated out of my money at all. I feel like it was. I
I
mean, I would have
I
seen this on
didn't.
a discount day, but it wasn't that bad.
No, no, it wasn't. Like I said, 7 out of 10. I feel like for Jordan Peele's films, like
For
Get
Jordan's,
Out,
yeah,
great,
I would actually throw it towards
Us,
the bottom.
great.
Jordan
I
Peele
would
is
say it's his
so good.
least. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say it's his least. It's going to probably be his least popular movie. As I was leaving the
Actually,
theater,
I had there was a lot of people in theater I went in. I'm assuming just because of COVID and it might get a nice hit. But I wonder what the
as
critics are gonna say.
right, and see, dude, this was at the end of the film in the theater I went to. One dude's walking down the stairs, leaving the theater as the movie's ending, and he's like, "Who's the guy that made this movie again?"
No
And the guy,
way.
yeah, and the guy behind him, I'm guessing was his friend. He was like, "Oh, it's a Jordan Peele film." He's like, "Oh yeah, that's right. He did it again." I was like, "Dude, you didn't even know the fucking dude's name." And you're like, "Oh, he did it again." No, bro. I think, in my opinion, Jordan Peele is a great director. He's got so much
Phenomenal.
potential, and he wrote, produced, and I believe directed this film. Um,
Which, by the
and I
way, Jordan Peele, you'll never hear this. I'm gonna watch any fucking movie you put out. Even this
yeah,
one, even though it's not high on my bar, I'm gonna watch every movie you put out.
oh,
He's
definitely, dude.
I hope he's a future Tarantino type dude. Like I
Oh
just
man,
love.
he's got skin in the game. He went from making a couple television shows to making big movies, bro. Like he's making
Well,
blockbuster movies. This,
with Key and Peele, like he shot up in
yeah.
popularity. It's like he got what he needed to do, what he wanted to do. It's like you could
Which, by the
tell.
way, Key and Peele's my shit. Love that show.
I could go to
That
sleep to
series
Key
is
and
awesome.
Peele. I fucking love it.
Yeah.
But it's like he needed that money to get here to be able to put out these movies. And as far as a comedic writer, the dude's fucking gold. And
Oh, dude, he's great.
as far as a thriller and horror writer, dude, I was like I said, or like you said, kids dressed up as aliens, fucking terrifying. Like, and it wasn't even a monster, but he still scared the
No.
shit out of me. So he
Yeah.
knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing.
Oh,
Uh, yeah, I still just hate the ending.
I just wasn't a big fan of the ending. And would I watch the movie again? Yeah, I'd watch it again just to see if there's any kinks or quirks that I've missed.
There has to be a
But
couple that we missed. There has
oh,
to be.
definitely. I mean, you should always watch something more than once for sure.
Hmm.
I just feel like there was just so much missing, man. I had so many questions. I was like, wait, what? So Angel, for instance, okay, he gets sucked up and then kind of like drops out,
I was
and
about to
then
say this.
he's like wrapped up in tarp, and he's like, oh shit, I got
With you
some
who just
barbed
said that,
wire,
he's wrapped in blue tarp, right? So
right?
from the flags, the alien probably shouldn't have eaten him to begin with.
Right.
But
And that's what I'm saying. Like they found out the weakness for this monster from the get go, dude. They knew it as soon as they gave it the decoy and the flags just kind of stuck hanging down, and then it
which
spit
is
it all
actually
back
really
out.
funny to think of in retrospect.
Yeah, and it spit it out. And see, this is where I knew they confirmed it because when he was riding away from it on the horse on Lucky, and he pops the red flag parachute, that confirmed that it did not like
Plastic
plastic. It was
or
not. It wasn't down for
or
it.
rope-like things.
Yeah, or synthetic materials, right?
Right.
I'm gonna go with
Bright,
synthetic
colorful.
material
Yeah, bright,
because
colorful
when
materials.
the reason why I'm gonna say
It
synthetic
didn't suck up
materials.
any wacky, wavy, inflatable tube men either.
No, but the reason why I'm going to say synthetic material is because think about the first scene and then the scene when they're in the house and it starts raining blood on them. Everything comes out was
Metal.
non-organic.
Yeah.
It was always keys, coins, like it
Change.
was
Yeah.
change. It was always an inorganic material. And so you knew it liked organic material. So that's why it wanted horses, it wanted humans, because it wanted the organic material.
Yeah.
So
So when Angel gets sucked up, he's covered in this massive blue tarp. But not only
yeah.
that, he's wrapped in barbed wire, which I'm sorry, if you're a giant flying alien who can kind of hover over clouds and you have your own electromagnetic force, is barbed wire going to be really? That's all you need? Like, dude,
Right.
you're telling me if I got sucked up there with a combat knife, I could fuck you up?
Right, that's what I'm
Like,
saying.
yeah.
Because and another thing I want to talk about, man, is the screams you hear come from it. So when it sucks up individuals, does it kill them right away? Does it keep them in
No,
stasis? And
well, we
what
definitely
happens?
not, because even with the horse, at the beginning of the movie, when his first horse, is it Ghost? Is Ghost the first one that gets sucked up?
Ghost was the white horse, yeah.
What?
Ghost was the one that got sucked up first, the white
Okay,
horse,
so
yep.
Ghost was the first horse he lost, and when that horse got sucked up, oh, what was up with the lights on the ground? Remember that at
That's
the
another
beginning?
thing. Yeah, that's another
So
thing. We
it had
never
lights on, and it was on the ground in the beginning of the movie. But
was that
maybe that's something I just didn't understand. But it eats the horse, and it flies around, and you can hear the horse go around. Like you hear that
yeah,
it's like whining from all different parts of like these hills, and you can hear the
yeah.
screams of the horse. Now Juniper's claim when they suck him up and they go over the house, which that whole thing I didn't quite understand why it just went and threw up on the house. You could still hear everyone screaming
Keep
inside
in
of it,
mind
and then you hear
and
like a pop, and then
yeah.
everything dies.
And then keep in mind though, man, when it sucked those people up, it was like midday.
Yeah, it
When it
wasn't at
sucked
night.
it wasn't at night. It was midday when it sucked everybody up, and then it was like midnight
When it showed up to the house. It showed up to the
when it
house
showed up.
when Daniel Kaluuya pulled up with his horse Lucky.
Yeah,
So when he pulled up with his horse Lucky, it was like there. And Angel was trying to leave, but he ran back in because shit got crazy. But that was at night. When he was leaving, Angel had his fucking lights on. It was dark. He was tired. It was a point in the storytelling that Angel's kind of tired. And then the power in his car goes out and he goes, oh shit.
yeah.
So it definitely showed up at the house at night, which means all of those people were still alive in the weather balloon UFO.
You see, when they get sucked up into it, they're kind of like in
Pressed up.
between,
Yeah.
these. So I don't know how it digests things. They don't explain anything like that. Um, and like I said, the way they kill it is they just send a balloon into it and it pops,
And then it turns into a balloon and flies
and
away.
and it turns into like a balloon and just kind of blows off in the wind, and
Yeah.
it's like, all right, so what was it? Because the way that it
It
looks
looked like a
on
fucking
the
jellyfish,
inside,
though. It looked like a fucking.
right, but the way that it looks when it sucks people up and you can actually see the inside of it is not how it looks in its true form. So you're like, how? I
What?
just got so many questions
Yeah.
on it, bro. Like, how does it eat people? Does it digest them? Does it like? Is it more or less like just
Yeah,
something that
just
kills for fun? Like, like
suck it.
it.
Suck it.
It's like, what
Get
is it?
down. Get down, motherfucker. Get down. Sorry, my cat's on a cabinet. A shelf. Goddamn, sorry. Piece
Or
of shit.
cat?
Get that.
But,
Sorry.
but dude, I don't know, man. I'm to the point where I'm like, I really like the movie. I just
I
wish
needed
the
more. Yeah.
monster could have been better. Like
I'm actually disappointed that it was a monster entirely. It was a really cool twist. Did it shock me? Fuck yeah, it shocked me. But there was a lot of inconsistencies with this
there's just so many
sentient dog.
questions.
And
Unless they
I'm sure it's meant to do that because you get the lure of like this is a creature no one knows, so your imagination can run wild. However,
right.
with what you've established in your story, things don't add up. Like, okay,
No.
he'll eat a blue tarp, he'll eat a giant fucking cowboy balloon, but he won't like you said, he'll identify the flags after one meal. After one meal with the flag because it stayed in its mouth. It's like I'll never have those flags again.
Right.
So it's smart enough
And like
to pick and choose what it eats.
I said, they confirmed that. They confirmed it was terrified of flags, bro. Plastic. And I can't say flags. I can only go with material, right?
And
Because it was made, the material.
and apparently it's territorial. So if a giant balloon's flying, obviously it went and attacked the giant balloon. So what's up with planes? What's up with
Right.
there's so many things like that just wouldn't make sense. Like okay, it's small and just chilling by a mountain, so planes don't mess with it. But if you see it, or if it hears you and you're too loud, it comes out anyway. So if you're a fucking plane, you're loud as shit. And I'm
Right.
assuming it has fucking awesome vision. You know.
And, and there's definitely people in that plane looking out that window, bro.
Yeah, like
It's like because if it identifies you by you looking at it, then
which
bro,
Steven Yin should have
planes
never made it to the presentation
no.
because he's obviously seen it. He has pictures of it on his jacket. He has signs of it because he knows it's going to be a UFO flying saucer. He says that in his speech. It's going to be a flying saucer. So Steven Yin's seen it.
Yeah, on multiple occasions because he's been feeding it.
Yeah, on multiple occasions. So I guess it's just he's been hiding and peeping through a peephole, and it's the first time he saw it while standing outside. I guess there's a bunch of stuff like that where even given with what we do know about the monster, shit still doesn't quite make sense. And even if we got the answers, I don't think we'd be satisfied because it spit out barbed wire, bro. So yeah, like.
Yeah.
One dude with a combat knife is taking this thing down then.
Like I said, it spits out inorganic material because it held that decoy horse in for like a day and then it spit it out.
If barbed wire this thick, this sharp, like this small, is enough to penetrate you and make you want to vomit it back up, then a fucking knife this fucking big is enough to fuck you up.
Another thing, man, is that they figured out that it sucks things up. And things that look at you. So why, in modern day, you're living in California, you couldn't go down to the nearest sportsman's store, you know what I'm saying, and buy you some gunpowder, whip you up a little bomb or something, because the internet still exists in this time. You could easily figure something out and send it on up, bro.
You're making me so mad because like you're right. Like I'm over here talking about a combat knife, but what the fuck would a gun do?
Right. It's like, bro, you knew it was taking up horses. Strap a fucking bomb to the horse, bro. Dynamite. Something, dude. And you could have fucking sent it up and killed that motherfucker
you
in the
imagine
first
somebody pulling up and they're like, hey, what are you doing? And nothing.
Right.
A fucking pipe bomb to this fucking
like, I'm just saying, man. I feel like they could have done something else, man. I'm like,
no,
you
all they
killed
wanted
it.
to do was get the money shot. then that was another thing, bro. Like,
the whole movie was about them trying to film it.
oh,
It's
but
pretty
yeah,
much
we kind of missed that. It's kind of late for that. But yeah, the entire movie is like, we want to get a picture of this to become Oprah rich, literally.
yeah,
Like it,
yeah.
literally.
Oprah Risk.
I
They
want
say
to.
that. Too.
They want to, and they bring it up later. Like, don't you want that Oprah shot? Okay, well, this is what we're gonna have to do for that Oprah shot. Like,
And then the one motherfucker they hire to get the Oprah shot gets it and then dies, and then
dies
all his shit gets destroyed.
on purpose.
I'm like,
On
yeah. I'm
purpose.
like, oh
And
my
I was
god,
looking
man.
at his little thing, and he totally got pictures of it. So it was
Oh,
like,
definitely, definitely.
he got it on recording.
But it's like he knew he was already explained prior to filming what it was capable of, and yet he still decided I'm gonna run up this fucking hill and
Hey,
get this.
what if you
What?
call the United States Coast Guard? You know,
Right?
what happens then? Then you have military proof. Then you're like ground zero patient. Like, no, this is the dude. He called in the, like,
Yeah.
there's just, there's so many
They
other
just
ways you could have done it. Like,
Yeah.
I probably would have started with the military. Like, hey guys, look, I know you're tired of these UFOs and shit, but okay, fine. I'm stranded in this cliff. This is my coordinates. Fucking Coast Guard's coming, dude. They got
And then,
to.
and then, all right. So,
And
so
then
the
they're
guy
gonna
on the,
die, and everyone's gonna know
Right.
they're gonna die, and then you have proof.
so the guy from TMZ, right, the one on the motorcycle, he rides up and he's like, "Yo, this spot's all blurred out on Google Maps." So apparently, if you're looking on Google Maps,
You
you
can't
wouldn't
get a
even know
satellite image. Yeah.
you can't even get a satellite image. So this monster has the ability to shut down electronics, and it's just too sentient. You know what I mean? It's too
It's an
smart.
obviously sentient, intelligent creature because it's hiding in a
Yeah,
fucking cloud. How would you
yeah,
know
that
to
it,
hide in a cloud?
right.
Like
I'm
how do you know
saying,
it's gonna work? How do you it's very intuitive. And like you said, after its first meal with a flag, it got stuck in its teeth and was like, "Fuck this flag! Never eat flags again." Why didn't that do so many other things? Well, it's called plot armor, and this movie is filled with some plot armor, and it's just there's plots that don't really make sense, but it just has to work because the movie has to go on.
right.
But
I mean, like I said, if you're gonna go see Nope, you may have a good opinion, you may have a bad opinion, you may have a mixed opinion.
I think
It's
you'll like it, but I think you'll be slightly disappointed.
Yeah,
It's funny because my cousin Charles over here, he went and saw it yesterday, and we have this rule where when we do these recordings, we are not allowed to talk about anything because we will just spill the beans. Like we were
yeah.
supposed to have a Stranger Things episode, and we just ended up talking about it by ourselves. Like
Hmm.
we would completely spill the beans, but all he told me was like, "Dude, this ending, man," and that's all I had. So when I went to go see this movie today, I was like, I wonder what the fuck he's talking about, And then I saw the fucking movie, and I was like, fuck. I was also super disappointed. I did not like the ending. Sure, she got her money shot, but if you go look on that hill, there's some film that rolled down it that probably has way better footage.
Right.
Instead of the
I'm
fucking
just
well, there's just a lot of really goofy things. Take it for what it is. It's a horror
yeah,
thriller
yeah.
movie.
Take it for what it is, man. And like Jordan Peele, I'm assuming he's one of those directors that want you to have your own opinion about it, or your own mystery of what could or couldn't happen.
And he definitely leaves that door open for those.
Yeah, he does. And for me, I was just like, man, I thought a lot of the characters were great. I wasn't a big fan of the sister at first,
I see
but she
why.
kind of,
I totally
but
see why.
she kind of grew on you. But
Well,
but at
she has one dialogue. Like you have to really pay attention. She has one dialogue where she explains that, and it's literally just that was my horse that he was supposed to train with me, and
Right.
he trained it with you. But she didn't know that they had to do that because they had the Scorpion King coming up.
Yeah.
And that was a big deal. So he couldn't just start training the little girl. So she didn't know that. So you get
Yeah.
one line of that, and if you weren't paying attention, and if you just slightly look past it, you miss her redemption arc.
pretty much.
Like you don't see the why she's the way she is unless that one line. So you really do have to pay attention.
But still, I would have been happy if like it would have been cool if Angel would have been the one to kill it or Daniel Kaluuya's character.
Dude,
I just feel like I just feel like
Daniel Kaluuya gets my vote hands down, 100%.
yeah, dude, he totally should have gotten it, bro. I just feel like she went a little overboard with it, you know, like
She didn't do anything. She unhinged
yeah,
a balloon.
yeah, that's
That's
it.
that's it. She drove to Juniper's claim with the idea of I'm going to release a balloon.
Which, by the way, Juniper Claim is literally their next door neighbor.
It's their neighbor, yeah. So she
Yeah,
goes to her neighbor's house and lets a giant balloon cowboy out. They could have did that the whole fucking time.
the whole time, but
Like,
still doesn't explain why the monster creature ate the giant cowboy balloon because it was pretty much made of the same fucking material as the flags.
yeah. So
So
it's obviously a semi-retarded sentient creature.
yeah, it's like
It got
I don't know.
lost on
Like,
the way to its universes and ended up on Earth, and it's like, whoa. Like, this is definitely the runt of the litter. I'd be terrified to see
right.
like one of the apex of these aliens, because this dude was definitely the runt. Or I don't want to assume it's gender. Um,
Yeah.
this
It might have been.
jellyfish.
It might have been the baby, bro. It might have been
It could have
like
been
you're
a
saying,
baby.
the run, like the
It was
baby
only a
version.
cumulus cloud. Imagine what a cubulus would look like.
Right.
A bigger cloud would. So lame.
For real.
But
And it's like it gets bigger, bro. It's like it's small enough to hide behind a cloud,
it
but
like
then when
folds
you
into
see
a
it,
disc,
but
and
then when you see it like going down the mountains and shit, it's
it's
like
huge.
it's
Absolutely
huge, bro.
That's
It's
another
like,
thing.
and he
If you want to,
describes the mouth as like being what Stephen Yin's character describes the mouth of the spaceship as being the length of like two football fields.
two buses, I think he
Yeah,
says.
two buses or
He
something.
said it's two buses wide, which I mean it's a pretty big mouth. But there's a scene where it's like, especially early in the movie when Daniel Kaluuya's character's looking at it, you see it and it's like huge. It's like taking up half the valley. You know?
Dude, it's big enough to fit over their house and allow. It's raining, right? And the rain is literally coming down over it,
Over.
and all you can see is the rain dripping all the way on the outskirts of their house.
Which looked
You
really
know?
cool if you didn't
Oh,
take in the fact that it's a sentient creature willingly throwing up on their house on purpose for some reason.
right. But that's a good time to see the size of it, dude, is because it's just boop, it's parked right above the house, it's parked right above his truck, and it's just raining on top of it, and the rain is being splashed out over the monster. So you can clearly see how big it is just based off of the length of the rain being, you know, and it's like I think they could have I think they could have told a little more story, man. I would have sat there for another fucking hour,
To
30
get
minutes,
more
45
unreal. I mean,
to get more on the back end of it. You know, it's like
I'm gonna be real. I would sit in another hour if there was another hour of potential UFO shit, and then the twist of it being a fucking creature. Because the most scared I was the entire time was when it was aliens. Now that I'm biased, Charlie knows this. My friends, I guess, wouldn't. I'm terrified of aliens. I think like aliens creeping up on you or like abducting you and no one fucking believing you is the most terrifying thing that could ever happen. So the idea of aliens being the creature here, and the whole like Skinwalker Ranch vibe, where you're on this like UFO territory where it's a hot spot for aliens, and you don't know what the fuck's gonna happen to this family because it's Jordan Peele's idea of what's gonna happen to this family, and I'm thinking of some like fucked up shit, like
right.
what was that movie Us?
Yeah, us.
Like, dude, Us was, oh my god, like next level. Like, dude, this shit's fucked up, and it's interesting, and it, like I'm in it. And Get Out was another one that's just so fucking deep. It just hits hard. I want
He's
that
got
with
a,
my
he's got
aliens. So like
he's
when it
got
turned
a,
into a monster, I wasn't even scared anymore because I was like, oh,
they're gonna kill it.
stinks.
You
Yeah.
know,
Oh
every monster
yeah,
movie will kill it.
yeah, it's
But
good.
my Jordan Peele, I don't know if he's trying to establish himself as like a horror master, but pretty much he's got 3 films out, and all 3 of them are considered horror, sci-fi films, I guess. But Get Out
Yeah, thriller,
was
suspense, horrors. Yeah,
right. It's like Get Out was a great film.
which
Us
a
was a
very
great film.
specific film too. Like Get Out was it. You know, showed like
Both
there's a
of
lot of
his
racial
films are,
awareness.
dude. Like every film he's put out so far is of his own. I can tell you
Oh
that
yeah,
it's something. It's from his mind. You're not going to see this. It's like when Quentin Tarantino puts out a film, you're like, oh, that's a Tarantino film, you
yeah.
know.
This is a
And
Jordan
then
Peele movie. Like he already
yeah,
has that, and he like you said, he doesn't have that many movies. He doesn't have Tarantino levels of movies. I mean,
no,
he was the main star of Keanu for fuck's sake. You know,
yeah,
but for our standings, he is like a Tarantino name. When you're like, oh, it's a Peele flick, it's Jordan Peele flick, you're gonna go, okay, I'm just gonna watch it anyway, because it could be great or it could be okay. But either way, I know it's not gonna be bad. Um, and with that all said, the ending fucking sucked.
yeah, dude. I was not a fan of the ending at all.
The ending
Um,
fucking
I,
sucked. God damn it, Jordan.
and the ending sucked, Jordan. I'm sorry, bro. I think you could have done a better job on the ending.
This is
Um,
definitely I don't know about you. For me, this isn't a shit list movie. But Jordan Peele is a shitless director, if that makes sense.
I agree with you 100% on that. This movie will definitely not make the shit list. I'm
I mean,
sorry.
dude, even
Um,
Get Out, shit, even Us. I don't know how you felt about Us, but I loved that movie. I felt it was kind of creepy, and it wasn't
was dude. It was intense. It was
very intense.
strange. It was a movie you weren't expecting these things to happen, and it was a good thriller. You know what I
It
mean?
was a trippy next level thriller.
And thriller, horror, whatever you want to classify it as. It definitely kept you on the edge of your seat. But to follow that up with this, I was like, dude, you got to fill your shoes, bro. Like this
I'm gonna
movie.
back this point up with something. What's more scary, Godzilla or an alien race? It's an alien
Wouldn't,
race.
wouldn't Godzilla be considered an alien race?
No, he's made from he's a nuclear radiation iguana. So
Oh
he's
no, no, he's a Komodo dragon.
oh yeah. But
Yeah,
either fucking
Komodo.
way, he's like a radiation based. He's just a giant lizard. An alien
Right,
race
right.
would have no problem dealing with a giant lizard. Okay, I'm assuming if there's an alien race traveling from civilization to civilization, they've mastered the power of their star, and they're far beyond human intellect at any point. That is terrifying to me. Having a creature who's so far beyond your intelligence. The thing that makes a human an apex or up there with apex predators is because we can think. And you're like, oh, a great white's an apex predator. Oh yeah, but we got them, no problem. Oh,
Right.
an orca can kill a great white. Yeah, well we can kill an orca. Like we're the most terrifying creatures. So I think the scariest thing besides a monster is actually fucking aliens. Is another
Yeah.
intelligent creature like a predator. Why was Predator so fucking scary? Because he was fucking smart. It's a
Yeah.
sentient, smart creature, and he has, of
That's not
course,
from this world,
he's
man.
not from
And
this
he's not
world,
from this world.
and he's from a hunter civilization whose job is to go kill things. Fucking
Yeah.
terrifying. That's a
Yeah.
scary alien right there. Uh, Now, other alien, like just alien, that doesn't really scare me. That fits in the monster category.
Yeah, the
But
xenomorphs.
yeah, that just fits in a monster category. And as we see in
Yeah.
Alien vs. fucking Predator, they had to make a giant queen xenomorph just to fucking contend with an intelligent alien. So
Yeah.
for
The
me,
predator is way more intelligent than the xenomorph. And the xenomorphs apparently were created for the alien for the predators to kill.
right, and they just kind of
You
got out of
know?
hand. But
Yeah.
but no, like for me, that's going from UFO to weather balloon. Or UFO to
Dude,
alien
I'm
or to
sorry, bro.
monster. It was a downgrade. It lost. I lost the fear factor once I figured out that it was a creature. That alone is what killed it for me. So yeah,
Yeah.
and then
I
the ending of it, like dude, I still loved it. It still scared me. It did its
yeah.
job. It definitely did its job as a horror movie.
It definitely did what it was supposed to do, but when you're coming to the final act of the film, man, and you have your audience on the edge of their seat, I feel like I personally, dude, in the final act, I was like this. I
Right.
was just like,
Not
man,
even worried, dude. Not
no,
even worried.
because they've already gone from the third act where you're like, okay, they already know what it is. They're gonna try and kill it. Okay, they got a little band of team together to try to kill it,
Which is a little
and
cliche. And
right, and then it becomes this fucking weather balloon, bro. I'm just like, Wait, what? So the whole time you're seeing in the whole entire film, you see it as this alien spaceship. That's what you see it as. It's a
UFO or a
UFO.
UAP or whatever the fuck
Yeah,
you want to
whatever you
call it.
want to call it. I'm old school. It's a UFO. Um, I back Dr. Alan Hynek on that term. But if you know, it, it goes from being a UFO to being this squid, fucking like,
Not even
like
squid. It
just
doesn't have tentacles. It's just like a jellyfish.
no,
It's like
no, dude,
it's a weather balloon.
bro, it just looked like a giant balloon with a bunch of holes in it that you're like, how the fuck is it floating? It's like it looks
Like
like a weather balloon that got shot down or something, like Roswell. You know what I mean? It's a weather balloon.
yeah,
Like,
that yeah. Well, that's a cool thing too. Like, hey, that's the weather balloon. That'd be cool.
right.
To kind of fit in with like old like UFO lore and stuff like that. But I don't even know if it's that complicated. I don't even know if it's not that complex. Maybe he chose that monster because he wanted it to be like this is the Roswell thing. I don't know. I don't know. But no, we about hit our time, man. I think we did pretty good with this movie. It's good. It's not amazing. It's not. I don't want to see it again out of just because I know the ending and because I know it's a monster. It won't scare me anymore.
Uh,
It's run its course with me. But I'm happy we watched it. I'm happy we had to talk about it, and I did enjoy the experience.
yeah, I'm glad we got to share it with you guys. Go see it, get your take on it. Let us know what you think. If there's anything you think we missed, we didn't touch on, let us know. It overall, in my opinion, it doesn't make the shit list. Jordan
Guaranteed,
Peele is
nah.
Jordan Peele definitely is a shit list director, though. He is definitely good at his craft. The movie in all was not filmed horribly
With
whatsoever.
that alone, I say go buy a ticket and see Nope because that's how much I want Jordan Peele to keep making movies.
Yeah,
If
he's
this is just one on his list of okay, well this one wasn't that great, I don't care. I'd still buy the collection. Um,
and Dave, every great director has a movie they've done that wasn't all that great.
yeah,
I mean,
unless you're like M Night Shyamalan and you have one movie that you did was great.
oh man, yeah, yeah. What was that? Signs.
Yeah, that one I brought up earlier.
No signs. Everything else is shit. Huh?
We could have a whole hour conversation on why M
Wait
Night
on
Shyamalan's a fucking idiot. But
right.
like The Village, bro. Who sends a blind girl into fucking woods? You fucking idiots. And then she somehow jukes somebody. Get the fuck out of here. It's the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
Fucking M Night Shyamalan.
I gotta say, he does have some good concepts on his film.
Yeah, yeah. Like being afraid of air
you know.
or like a beach.
Yeah, the beach one was kind of weird. I was like,
I do gotta.
I was like, granted, we saw that shit before we started doing this channel, but that probably would not have made it. No, it would not have made the shit list at all.
Dude, M Night Shyamalan is not a shitless director. Okay,
No,
he's not.
no,
He's belonging.
Science hands down was his best film.
Yeah,
Hands
and I
down.
don't even know if that was just because Mel Gibson and who the fuck played, what's his name? Who Swing Away, Jack? I don't even know his
No,
name, but it was
it's been
those two dudes. It was those
yeah,
two guys, man.
it's been so long since I've seen that film.
Okay,
Um,
yeah. If anyone likes any of this shit, leave a comment if you want us to review Signs.
yeah, seriously, or anything that you recommend, man. Like if there's
Anything.
something you
It
want
doesn't
our
have to be
opinion
good.
on, let us know. I mean, we're doing this stuff weekly, bi-weekly, whatever.
We're just gonna keep putting
Uh,
stuff out that we know we're gonna watch. But if you guys
yeah,
put in something, if there's like a Shawshank Redemption, uh, if anything, if there's a movie that you fucking love and you want to see how we think about it and what we take away from it, please leave it in the comments. Uh,
yeah, definitely.
one of you 10 people out there, leave the
Yeah,
shit.
to our 10 viewers,
Yeah, to one
our
of you
10
10
viewers.
guys, put a comment in there.
Yeah, let us know what's going on, man.
But
But anyway, we're gonna review the Gray Man next.
yep, Gray Man's
That's
coming
gonna
up.
be yeah,
Actually, it was. I'm gonna spoil a little bit of our next one. My cousin here saw it in theaters, and I didn't. It's coming out on Netflix today, actually. And
yeah, it did. Yep.
it's good enough for him to want not only to review it, but to rewatch it. So I'm
Oh,
actually
dude,
I'm pretty
yeah,
pumped
we're
to see the Gray Man. Just because when you see this guy excited, be like, no, you got to watch the movie. It's pretty good.
yeah,
It's worth a couple
it
cents.
was, yeah, it sure was. It's the Russo brothers, bro. By the
The
way,
Russo brothers nail it all the time.
yeah, pretty
Those are
much every time.
shitless directors right there. But
Definitely.
this has been Talking Shit. This will be our third installment of Nope. So
Yep,
catch us on the next one.
yep. Peace. Have a good night.